One person has to pay attention, like I would like your attention right now, please, as the other one is speaking. Even though there might be some distractions happening all around us. So, these issues must be all taken care and taken into consideration when there is a marriage life here. If people can learn in a marriage life to forgive and forget, then they'll have a happy life. Like I told you guys, there is never a happy, perfect marriage. There is no such thing as a perfect marriage. Because the only perfect couple in the whole history of humanity happened with two people, Imam Ali and Fatima al-Zahra alayha salam. That was the only perfect couple, where the husband was an infallible man and the wife was also an infallible woman. We've never had that in history. Even some of the wives of our holy prophet, they used to create problems for him. In fact, the Quran tells us so. Not that because he was the problem, they were the problem. But nonetheless, so the only time in history where we have a perfect marriage, a perfect life, is with those two. Otherwise, there is no such thing as a perfect life. You'll have issues come up sometimes, but how you deal with them is the main thing. A husband should not be going out talking about his wife with his parents, or the wife calling her parents and talking about her husbands, and all of a sudden you have the mother-in-law calling the other mother-in-law, and they're fighting and boxing, and mashallah you see like chairs flying. And if you live in this part of the neighborhood, I guess it'll be drive-by shooting as well. So
we're in Canada.
You're in Canada? Well, I saw what happened here, my friend. You know, there was just drive-by shooting the other day, you know, in downtown. I saw that. The police shot somebody else. Yeah, so be careful not to get married to a person who's got like police relations. Be careful. So, nonetheless, you'll have that issues as well happening. So you got to keep it within the husband and the wife, and you got to learn how to deal with the problems together. You got to learn how to deal with the issues, compromise on the issues. You know, I remember a friend of mine, he said one day he had an issue where the wife came with the husband and they said, we want a divorce. And he said, what's the problem? The man said, ask her, she wants a divorce. So he said, I asked her, what's the problem? She said, he never flushes the toilet. And it's become so irritating. You know, I tell him, flush the toilet. And we started fighting over this day after day after day that now I cannot stand it anymore. Khalas, I want a divorce. I mean, if that's an issue that irritates the wife, just flush the toilet for God's sake. You know. Sometimes we might think, and by we, both the husband or the wife, might think that this issue is so ridiculous. I mean, come on, flushing the toilet. That issue to you could be ridiculous, but to the other spouse, it's not. It's the end of the world. It's the pet peeve. You know what a pet peeve is? Yeah. So that's the thing. It's annoying. So address it. If that is the issue, address it. Try to solve it. And one key issue here in solving this is communication. There should be always communication. Talk. Sometimes in our busy lifestyle in Canada, we go to work at 7 in the morning, we come back from work at 6 in the afternoon, we're dead tired by that time. By the time we have our dinner, it's like 8 o'clock in the morning, then there's a Canucks game playing right now we want to watch. And by the time is over, it's like 11 p.m. Are they winning, by the way, or they're still 1-0? Who, Canucks? Okay, awesome, that's good. So, but by the time it's over, it's 11 p.m. and it's time for me to go to bed. Well, the wife would say, well, I want to talk to you. Oh, I'm so tired right now, you know, let's just postpone it for later. Or the guy comes in and he wants to talk to the wife and she's like speaking on the phone, doing her, for example, a manicure and then pedicure and whatever she's doing. It's like, I'm busy right now, so I'll talk to you later. Okay. Well, this drags on and on and on until that flushing the toilet issue becomes a bomb that destroys the marriage life. So we have this happen, you know, believe it or not, it's more common than what you think it is. I've had issues, many cases where the problem really boils down to lack of communication in the marriage. The husband and the wife never speak. They talk to each other, but not about problems. And that problem then starts being built in like a pressure can. And then one day it will explode. And that's what happens. Then they come see us. And they think that we have, you know, like what we call in Arabic, Asa Musa. You know, I have the magic cane, the magic wand of Harry Potter, where I can just say, you know, kun fayakun. So, that doesn't happen. Here's something interesting for you guys. If you want your wife to love you, or if you want your husband to love you, read this dua. Okay, that's on slide number 10. I can give it to you later.
But it has to be in English.
Time is getting late. The Canucks game is getting over. I'm just kidding. But basically, it's the translation. For the sake of time, we don't have time to translate. But the dua, paraphrasing it, is just, oh my Lord, you know, just like you've helped Musa alayhi salam, you've helped the other prophets in difficulties, help me and make this beautiful wife of mine love me, or this beautiful husband of mine love me as well. So we actually have du'as for these things, you know, for the magic spell. How many of you have read Midsummer Night Dream, Shakespeare's Midsummer's Night Dream? Maybe you've read the French version of it? Yeah. None of you have read Midsummer's Night Dream?
Yes, but in English.
In English. That's good. That's what I read it too. Yeah, I think it would lose its taste in French. Have you guys read any of Shakespeare's? Do they even teach you Shakespeare in the school?
No.
No. Frenchies. Anyways, so never mind, then you would understand what happened there. So there is like something like a magic potion or love potion, you know, from the hadith. Spousal relations for men. What is really required for men? Religiously speaking, what does a man have to provide to the woman, religiously speaking? 3 things. Food, clothes, and shelter. That's what he needs to provide her with. Okay, that's religiously speaking. And of course, you can add to that, shelter, by the way, is a little bit broad in the sense that it also includes healthcare. So if the wife becomes ill, it is the husband's duty to go and get her some medication. Okay, so that's also considered part of the shelter. All right? But in addition to that, the Prophet says that, you know, he has to feed her, so food. He has to satisfy her physically. Okay? Like he has to give her some clothes. But one more thing. He should never disrespect her.